Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Take What You Like and Leave the Rest Astrology Network, Big Apple Mountain Tarot. I'm your host, Mike Rusnak.
I'm Everest Tall. Well, here it is. We are here today to speak to everyone about the eclipse in Aries. We're very excited. I feel like I've been looking forward to this one for many years.
And for months. You know, it's like we're in the first sign, Aries.
Yeah.
Yet we're in the fourth month and we're already a third of the way through 2024. And didn't we say at the beginning of this Wood Dragon year that this year was going to go like that, like a
real
blink,
fast,
like
real
a
fast,
flash in the pan. So it's flying. We're flying.
We're flying through it, and today we're going to fly through this eclipse video here.
Try to keep our Aries energy pumping.
Keep it pumping.
Right?
Okay, so this eclipse is all about Aries. Aries is spring energy. It's the ego. This is about the ego. This is about yourself. This is about your self-interest. This is about self-needs.
Sovereignty.
This is about doing it. Getting after it.
And with our North Node in Aries, the message is me first. Leave the other perspectives behind. That's our South Node in Libra. Leave these other ideas about making room for everybody and everyone gets a place at the table. No. They don't.
A little bit of selfishness.
But you have to make sure that you could put your own oxygen mask on first.
Right.
Before you could help your family, your children, your parents. It has to be you secure with yourself and everything's working like a well-oiled machine first.
Almost, I would say, setting an example because of what we've learned and really kind of doing things on your own and being publicly visible to your loved ones and your friends and families. And yeah,
it's
Aries.
about matching frequency, though. Matching frequency.
Right.
Matching your highest vibration to the highest frequency that you could find so you're being the best version of yourself. Right here, right today, life is not a dress rehearsal.
No, it's happening right now.
So, yes, we only have the now.
So besides with the eclipse, there's two other things we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to be talking about Mercury, which is going to be retrograde.
Starting April 1st. Through April 25th. So Mercury, goes retrograde 3 times every year.
Yeah.
It's, nothing strange, but during Mercury retrogrades, communication gets a little muddy. So there are miscommunications. People speak out of turn. People say things they don't mean, foot and mouth disease.
Yeah.
It's a good time to get quieter and to listen more.
There's that classic, watch your vehicle, don't buy any electronics, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Don't sign any contracts. However, if you are doing things that you've been planning for a long time, you're okay. If the plans were already set, like we're going to go away during Mercury retrograde.
Life needs to happen.
But we've been planning this for a long time. So
we're being really, really, really careful.
But
everything's double checked.
It is about double and triple checking, making sure that you have everything you need, your keys, your car, your tires, your fluids, your engine.
Enough gas, all the water, all that stuff. So in addition to that, we're also going to be talking about a very interesting thing that's happening. So here's Aries in the first house, and then Pisces is in the 12th house. Pisces has had Saturn in it for a long time, but Mars is coming in.
Mars will be in a conjunction with Saturn at the time of this eclipse. So this is a very, Mars rules Aries. So this is a very direct message about power, but also about caution and risk aversion, because Mars is in a detriment in Pisces. Right? Mars does not like being in Pisces. It's watery, and Mars is fire. So Mars is hobbled in Pisces, but with Saturn there conjunct Mars, Saturn is there to bring in structure, to
limits, boundaries, organization,
to really spell out what the potential is.
So we've got a little catchphrase for Saturn and Mars conjunct: risk aversion.
Risk aversion,
which I think is pretty good.
Yes, it means do no harm. And this energy is very much about surgical precision and deep thinking and deep reflection. Mercury's in retrograde during this eclipse. Also, for this eclipse, we have, the sun and the moon will be in Aries. Mercury is retrograde in Aries. Venus is in Aries. The North Node is conjunct with Chiron,
Aries.
also in Aries. So there's this real traffic jam. A lot of planets. This is all one conjunction. So this spells out the love of freedom, but a review of relationships and healing of old traumas all at the same time, because Chiron came into conjunction with the North Node on February 19th, and it has slowly still been conjunct.
And we just had that lunar eclipse in Libra.
All eyes were on relationships. And I think that emotional, lunar eclipses are maybe a little more painful because they hurt you in your heart and your emotions. And solar eclipses are more of an ego check. Yeah. And it's a little more of a shallow message, but a very important one. Right. And it's also a new moon. So this is very much about new movements, new steps. But as always with Mercury retrograde, don't take any new action until after.
Be careful. And in addition to that, eclipses take a while to show their effect. Yeah. So just keep your expectations open, and I wouldn't assume that on the April 10th you're going to have some miraculous roundabout revolution,
and then everything's wrapped
but it could happen. But these things can affect you for months.
I'm sure that many people have already felt this eclipse energy, and they've already gotten their homework, so to say.
Somebody got his homework.
But they can be felt for a month before and up to 6 months after. So if what we're saying doesn't make any sense, check back in a couple months, see if any of this does ring true. So
all right,
we'll start with Aries.
Hey, Aries, this is
for you, Aries.
This is for you. We love you, Aries.
This eclipse happens in your first house.
First house.
Yes.
So primal initiative, if you can imagine the seeds coming out of the ground and cracking their shell and poking through. It's that. So Aries, it rules the head. It's kind of that forward push, the ram's horns.
It's very much about your ball game, your life, your rules, your family. Maybe this is the first time that you're a parent, and you're just doing everything new for the first time. But these first moves are triggering old wounds from your childhood,
Yes.
And Saturn and Mars will be conjunct in your 12th house. So while this eclipse is hitting you in the first house, the Saturn-Mars action is happening in the 12th house. That's
subconscious,
spiritual, the world between worlds, stuff that you might not even be aware of that's chewing at you.
So it's kind of coming out of the cocoon. It's a rebirth. There's this Mercury retrograde happening at the same time in your first house. So there could be who am I, what's happening
and
moment.
With Mercury retrograde, this could be about review.
Yeah.
So for everyone during this reading, it's about redoing, relooking, reevaluating.
Right.
For you, it may be a reevaluation with how you conduct yourself simply. Your ego, where it's too much for those around you.
Yeah.
In a relationship. Where do you end? Where do they begin? Yeah. And is there enough temperance? Is there enough balance?
Well,
is there enough harmonizing?
Having Saturn in your 12th house with Mars in your subconscious will create that balance, I think. Even it's in your subconscious. You're having this stuff happening behind the scenes, so you're not going to know exactly what's happened.
But new structure for you. New structure.
Perhaps even a spiritual revelation will come in a couple months after things have been digested. It's like, wait, it happens like that. Deepening of dreams. Maybe repeated dreams,
maybe new spirituality.
Maybe you find a new way of looking at the world and nature and your place in it, because it is like nature and yourself. Also, the body. It is an eclipse, perhaps go see the doctor, just get your yearly checkup. It's always good to do that.
Not all the information is there.
Yeah.
Wait till a couple weeks after the eclipse, and then reevaluate, and then move forward when Mercury goes direct after April 25th.
Yes.
For Taurus.
Taurus.
This eclipse, Taurus, happens in your 12th house. So this is deep spirituality, the world in between worlds.
Yeah, so it's 12th house, which is mutable water. So it's unlimited water, which is quite different from fixed earth. So we're thinking about oceans
So this
and
could
skies.
be very unsettling for Taurus.
If you're kind of conservative, if you're like some freaky tourist who's expansive.
Well, Taurus, no, they're fixed signs. They don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't do that. No.
Well, I know one who's kind of a expansive, dreamy one. So it's this deepening of your subconscious, this expansion of what is unknown. I think this is really cool for Taurus.
Spiritual dreams, too, deep dreams, messages coming through your dreams. This could be very much about generational pain, too.
Yeah, it could be.
Generations. Saturn and Mars will be conjunct in your 11th house, though.
Right.
So this is risk aversion and new structure in the area of networks and friendships. So, Taurus, this could be the very earliest cautious steps into new friendships, like checking in with someone who's been on your radar for a while, and maybe making some inroads,
or even just like a social contracts, like the way we do things publicly. We'll be given a little bit more structure and a little bit more power. New friendships, maybe a new
but a review too.
Yeah, a review of the groups we're spending time with.
Yes,
and how the effect that's happening on our subconscious as we're going forward.
It's a lot of thinking, like how has it worked in the past? How do I want it to work now? Do I want the same pattern? Do I want more of what I've had?
Yeah.
Yes, Taurus.
Cool. All right, Gemini.
So for Gemini, your planet is Mercury. Mercury is retrograde, so this is very much a review for you. And this looks at your 11th house.
Right.
So it's your house of friendships and networks.
Social contracts, how we do things. Now, because Mercury's in there and there's an eclipse, perhaps some old friends might come up that we haven't thought about for years and years and years. Perhaps there is some social issue that needs to be reviewed. How we work ourselves in public, friendships.
How you operate in the friend zone.
The friend zone.
Do you listen enough? Do you talk too much? Gemini,
are you talking too much?
Too much?
Yeah.
Mercury retrograde. Listen more.
Right.
Temper, balance.
Yeah.
Saturn and Mars will be conjunct in your 10th house.
house.
So this is a new movement in the area of your professional life.
And how people see you. Now, being that Mercury is retrograde, perhaps a word of caution on how we speak and how we use our words. Just think beforehand, because with Mars and Saturn in our 10th house, there might be a foot and mouth syndrome that needs to be reviewed later on. It's work, which I love for Gemini. There's this Mars Saturn kind of like giving you some oomph. So perhaps maybe someone would get a new job that they've been looking for, a new way of seeing themselves in the public.
Yeah, new surgical precision, structure, and looking at like new professional moves.
Right. I was just as a little side note, I was talking to a Gemini friend. He's looking for a job. He's got this really long hair, and he thinks that he should get a haircut for it. And I said, yeah, you should get a haircut for getting a new job because people see you differently. It's that kind of like recreation of the public.
Well, it's not that people see you differently. It's that you get a haircut and then you hold yourself differently. You feel differently. Then you're cleaning the energy. You're cutting off all the old icky energy.
Yeah.
And throwing it in the toilet.
Yeah. Get rid of it.
Well, yeah. When you put on a suit, you walk differently. You hold yourself differently. It does something to your physicality.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a dress for the job that you want kind of energy.
And this is healing. This is Chiron. This
Chiron,
is all
healing-
about
healing old wounds.
and knowing that we can take care of ourselves. We don't have to, cry and feel sad that we didn't do it in time and things aren't working the right way and Clear all that out.
Clear all that out. Structure to your public face.
It's a change of your perspective.
Right. I love it for Gemini. Cool.
For Cancer, this energy is hitting you in the 10th house.
Uh-oh.
And this is nothing new for you, Cancer, because you've been rocked in your 10th house for this past year. So this is professional environment, something at work, maybe someone that you used to work with is coming back around, maybe a job you used to do, you might do again.
Yeah, this is how people see you. This is your public face. Now, keep in mind, this is a Aries eclipse, so this is about self and ego and how we project. So perhaps there's a new way of projecting yourself publicly that people will respond to. There is Mars and Saturn in the 9th house, which is...
So that's your philosophical realm, wisdom, religious practices,
belief system,
higher learning.
Yes, it's about higher education, belief,
travel.
faith, travel. Great time to go travel.
Wandering, seeking. It's the area of the anthropologist.
Yeah,
if you want to study what makes others tick, if you haven't thought about that for a while, check in with some new groups, see what's going on with the rest of the world.
Yeah, you're being called into the public space, and because of what's been happening over the few years, there's a I would hope, a self-development and an ego stability publicly, where you feel more confident publicly, and a response to that. A really positive response to that, because you're awesome.
Speaking of awesome.
Leo, hey, my favorites.
This eclipse will hit you in your 9th house, and that is higher learning,
travel,
faith, philosophy, a deepening of that, a broadening of your horizons, maybe a lot more travel, and maybe picking up some new studies, maybe even deciding to teach something too.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a goal objective. It's traditionally ruled by Sagittarius, which is the arrow hitting the target, and so there's a goal that's coming there. So perhaps there is a goal that you've been working on, thinking about, that can happen, and with the support of Mars and Saturn
in your 8th house.
Other people's money.
It's other people's money and how you fit into the idea of other people's money. And
right.
What does that even mean to you? Do you have anything to do with other people's money?
Right.
Would you like to have more to do with other people's money?
Right. And this is a great time, because it's Aries, it's self, to be like, I want more money. I want...
What would heal me is more money.
What would heal me is more money. I could use more money.
Self-sufficiency, yes.
Right. And there's it's okay to be thinking about yourself and your own personal goals. And,
thank you.
It's really important, because you've got to put your oxygen mask on first. And as I feel like this year's kind of developing, there's a need for everyone to feel great about themselves and who they are.
To know that they could heal themselves if they so choose to. And it's not really easy to heal yourself. That doesn't usually work that way, and it's best if we're trying to heal someone else. And then by healing someone else, that in turn heals myself.
Yeah. A building is made up of a brick building is made up of many bricks. They all have to be really strong and self-sufficient in order for the building to stand up.
And the message for this year has not been one of sitting in victimhood. It's about shedding that and moving into co-creation.
That's right.
Yes.
Now we have Mars and Saturn for Leo, not only affecting other people's money, but there's it's in Scorpio, which is like secrets. So there could be some revelations that's happening, which could
secrets to spill.
That can help you kind of in your security, in your risk management, security.
Okay. With Virgo, Again, Mercury rules Virgo. Mercury is
Careful.
retrograde. Get quiet, listen more.
Mm-hmm.
But this is hitting your 8th house. So this is other people's money, how you work with other people's money,
Jobs,
how you are of service to other people. And Saturn and Mars are conjuncting your 7th house. So this is a relook at how you work in relationships and money.
right?
And how you deal with your partner and their finances. It's like a real complicated.
It's really
Message
adulty
for-
kind of energy. I hope it is
I hope-
fantastic for everyone there. But it's like,
I hope for Virgo you could challenge your bravery and just pause your fear.
and it's also so 8th house. It's sex, it's death, it's the hidden stuff, it's the occult, it's the
It's
mysteries.
rising like a phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's toxicity, digestion and expulsion. It's in association with how you are in regards to other people. What is it with me and my partners, my legal aspects, my relationships, my marriage that can remove toxins? How can I help people move toxins?
How could I process
How can I process
the toxicity? How could I transform, transmute, transmogrify? How could I turn into a butterfly?
in the deep dark muck of the swamp? This murky magical energy.
How does Virgo keep doing that? Keep just flipping it over and serving. For Libra, this eclipse is happening in your 7th house. So, again, nothing new for you, Libra.
No,
7th house is your
Relationships.
game. That's all about you. Where you end, where you begin. What is your perspective, though, Libra? This is the trick for you because you're good at understanding perspectives, but not good at owning one of your own.
What's your opinion?
But what is you?
Who are you in the group? Who
Can you not compromise? Where do your values stand?
Yeah. How do you get what you want out of the compromise? Because all relationships are some sort of compromise. Who are you? So that's 7th house, Mars.
7th house, and then Mars and Saturn are in your 6th
house, daily routine.
So this is, you find that balance by going to work, by serving, by pausing you and doing for others in your professional life.
Right. Work, showing up, like being the person that shows up, how you support the community by showing up and sharing your own specific magic. Now it is Mars, Saturn in 6th house. That's a health house.
This is a checkup.
A checkup. Everyone goes to the doctor once a year. Just do it.
Don't sit in the mystery. Don't wonder. Just go and be proactive about it. And, challenge that Aries bravery. And just go.
Bravery.
Scorpio. This eclipse energy is happening in your 6th house. So this is the house of service and health.
Service, health, daily routine, the little tiny bits, the microbiome.
Your pedestrian movements, your little, walking from here to the store and back, little movements. Saturn and Mars are conjunct in your 5th house. So how do you temper and balance with your 6th house of servitude, of health, when things are getting too stressful, when your health is faltering? You try to bring in the joy. That's the 5th house. That's
hobbies.
Fun, love, creativity,
children.
Childhood. Just creative expression, joy, laughter.
Yeah, and I think Scorpio, being such a hardworking, really kind of group oriented sign. Personally, like, what do you do for yourself? What's your hobby? What brings you personal joy?
If you do something for yourself and no one is there to see it, does it count?
Right. And this is
do you need the audience, or can you do things just for yourself?
Is yourself getting a bit lost in your daily routine and all the things you do for people?
And all the transformations and all the managing money and all the sex and all the death and the darkness and the rebirth and the heaviness.
And the gossip, but what are you doing for yourself?
What about the fun?
What about the fun? What about the joy? What about a hobby?
What about the fun for the sake of fun, not fun to make a job, to make
Or to make money.
to make a mission? Just the fun.
The fun for you.
Sagittarius. Yes. This hits you in the 5th house. That's
hey.
Fun,
the
love,
joy,
the sex, the romance.
Also, it has to do with work. Because it's the joy that you get from producing, from making. So it's a creativity, but it has to do with work. So this could be a revolutionary energy with work and jobs.
Yes, and with Saturn and Mars in your 4th house, this is saying fun, wonderful too, but don't forget about the nurturing, the safety.
Home security.
Yeah, the home security.
The home security. So as we're having all this fun and perhaps we're having a new job and a new experience, there's a structure and a Mars kind of defense in our home security and really kind of building up this 4th house happy home and a safe place.
Yes, don't let your happy home become a fortress.
No. No, invite people in.
Keep it warm, keep it loving, keep it secure, but stable. For Capricorn, this eclipse hits you in your 4th house.
4th house.
You're used to this, the 4th house, Capricorn. So this is about your home, a re-look, a review about what's going on at home, reevaluation.
Also, 4th house is mother. It has to do with, parenting and nurturing and children and how we nurture not just ourselves but others, but, how are we nurturing the environment we're in. You guys work so hard and you're out public all the time, but when you go home, how is your home? Is it the way you want? Is it a healthy home? Is it
just a mirror of your workspace?
Yeah, is it a mirror of your workspace?
That wouldn't be good.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah, and Mars and Saturn are conjuncting your 3rd house. So this is excellent front stoop energy.
Front stoop, siblings, neighbors.
Siblings, neighbors, sitting on the porch, talking with your neighbors.
Yeah. Community garden.
Yeah, community garden. Little quick trips in the neighborhood.
If you see trash on your block, pick it up. Helpfulness for building not just a happy home, but a happy home and relationship to your neighbors.
Yeah, the people on either side of you. Aquarius, this happens in your 3rd.
Hey, chatty
3rd
cat.
house.
Aren't you lucky, Mike?
Yes, neighbors and friends and well-wishers.
Siblings. Talking, communicating. This kind of energy back and forth here that we're doing. And it's also publishing, getting the ideas out there. It's the small talk, little stuff.
Local Saturn and Mars is in your 2nd house too. So this is very much about a relook, a review, a reevaluation of what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're drugging, what you're taking, all the stuff that you're taking. But also your values.
Your values.
What do you mean? What do you stand for? What do you believe in?
Now, and just to touch on it, Pluto is in Aquarius, so that's kind of rebuilding of the Aquarius energy. But
it's helping Aquarius to be unfiltered in their individual expression.
Yes.
Pluto, it's like, this is me, take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. And I'm going to talk about it.
Enjoy the darkness. For Pisces, this is hitting your 2nd house. So, values, money, wealth, security, your home. It could be a problem with these finances. Or it could be a windfall too. But the important thing is to remember, no knee-jerk reactions. You're not going to have all the information until after the eclipse. So just sit tight.
Mercury is going to do its magic. It's going to review it. Things could seem a little foggy and a little fuzzy, but by
2nd house, again, values. This is what you stand for, who you cannot compromise yourself to be. This is just you. And the Saturn and Mars action happens in your 1st house, so good for you. Because that's some new movement, new structure that will keep you risk averse and safe.
Yes.
And with Saturn moving through your sign for the next 2 years, the closer it gets to Neptune means the sharper your mind is going to become.
Right.
So
And
sit tight and keep sharpening your mind.
it might seem a little tight. Mars is coming in, giving you guys some energy. Saturn's been there for a while now, so there's going to be a burst of energy coming in. But just be careful and cautious on your reactions to this exciting new energy. It's very, very fresh and fun.
Everyone's advice is sit tight until all the pieces are there.
It all
until
makes
well
sense.
after the eclipse.
It
It
all
all
makes
makes sense. And really have the best time and invite the information, invite the new, invite the change, invite this new information. Expect it.
Expect it. Expect the unexpected.
Let's do
Eclipse. I'm so happy we're doing this in one take. Okay, so we're gonna
pull only 4 cards.
We're gonna pull 4 cards, and so we're gonna have them facing, towards ourselves, and we would love it if you would choose 1, 2, 3, or 4, and that'll be the message for everybody out there in TV land for the eclipse that's working with Mercury, Mars, and Saturn.
And here are the answers.
Here's all the answers.
4 cards.
Okay, I'm
1.
I'm gonna let you play along. 2,
2,
3,
3,
4. Okay.
Okay, so now just let yourself gravitate towards 1. 1. This is 1?
Yeah.
That's 2. Okay. 3 and 4. Okay. So if you pick the first card,
Ooh, it's springtime and there is a new idea. Page of Swords.
new ideas from the eclipses.
This is a messenger. This is kind of a mercurial energy. Swords are thoughts. If you could imagine, this figure has maybe perhaps found this sword in the field and is discovering it and picking it up, and it's a heavy, kind of awkward energy.
It's that energy that makes you say, "Oh, I never thought about it like that. Why didn't I ever think about it like that?"
Whoa, this sword has 2 edges. It's interesting. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
New thoughts, a new message.
Not used to the new message. The physicality is very clumsy. It's very different to hold this new idea.
Yeah, but doesn't that page look pretty?
That's what new is. 2. Oh.
Hey, Ace of Pentacles. Money, values, new placement. Perhaps if you can see, there's a little guard in here. Before we moved out to Mexico, I got this card and kind of really told me that there was a new, not just new value, but a new property, a new landscape, a new.
But when you get this card, sometimes it looks too good to be true because sometimes it represents fool's gold. Sometimes.
Yeah, everything's got 2 sides to it.
Yeah.
So, as once again we've said, it's an eclipse, and just kind of keep your eyes open and let it digest. Because there's a new value coming in, and this is very good for you. 2,
3.
3.
Oh, I picked that.
Oh, you did? Oh, nice.
I did. Justice.
Justice. You can't escape justice. This card is about Libra, balancing.
What we're letting go, what we're shedding with our South Node in Libra this year. What we're wrapping up and saying, we understand. We don't need to keep exploring this.
Yeah.
Our values are here.
And once we've had that Libra lunar eclipse, we kind of understand what happened with that. Now we can act on it. There might have been some information that's coming through.
Justice is not vengeance.
No, it's not. It's just facts. These are facts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe your blood sugar's a little high and you got to eat less sugar. Facts. That was about me. All right. Hey, number 4, 10 of Wands. Okay, we've all been here.
Yeah.
This is the end of a cycle, an end of a very passionate cycle.
The end of a what next
cycle. We've been carrying these heavy wands. We're almost at the town. perhaps
we're cramping.
We're cramping. The digging into your arms. Perhaps you could put them down and carry them in a different way.
Perhaps you could cut your passions in half.
Yeah.
You know, because it's all passions. It's a lot of emotion, a lot of fire, a lot of feeling, and it's not very helpful all the time.
Right. And so just talking briefly about Aries, Libra, Aries acts and it doesn't think about the ramifications of those actions.
No, it's a very selfish, forceful.
There's a karmic response to all the actions that we make.
Yeah, right makes right.
And this is kind of that karmic response to these 10 actions and how heavy it is. And now it's time to kind of let it go and start a new cycle because it's Aries.
Readjust your bundle and then sling them over your shoulder and carry your feelings, your passions differently.
Okay, so here's our little
3, 2, and 1.
Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today.
Have the best eclipse. Stay very safe. Check your fluids if you're going to travel.
Yep.
And welcome the changes.
Pause before the road. And we thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.